I am going to make another video, whole another video on my TTC tips and tricks. That is not what this is. This is what you need to know right when you start off, because there's a lot of secret language, abbreviations, that I did not understand when I first started. There's a lot of things that people don't tell you when you are first pregnant. If you are watching this when you were first pregnant, or just starting off research, either way, this is going to be helpful to you. If you are pregnant, congratulations. If you are heading into journey into parenthood, also congratulations, because it's a huge thing. It's a huge step for anybody to go into, to think about bringing a child into this world. It's a huge, big thing. So either way, congratulations, and I'm excited for you. So let's get moving. We're going to start off with our abbreviations. So we're just going to go off and I will explain some of these on like why they're important in a minute. I'm just going to go through my list of all the TTC baby research abbreviation things that I have, starting with TTC, trying to conceive, past ovulation, DPO. 2WW or TWW, whatever you're looking at, 2-week wait. That's because you have your ovulation and then 2 weeks until you can really take a pregnancy test, or will be really accurate 2-week wait. This one's difficult for me because in the Disney World, CM is cast member. Like, we are cast members, not employees, right? But in the baby research mama world, CM is cervical mucus, which is something, if you're trying to conceive, you're going to start tracking. Fun fact. SAHM, stay-at-home mom. FTM, first-time mom. BFP. This one, the first time I saw it, I was like, what? You got a what? And this girl was like, I got my BFP! And I was like, what does it mean? Big fat positive. And then BFN, big fat negative, so it's referring to your pregnancy test, which, fun fact, you should take with your FMU, first morning urine, because it's more accurate. Fun fact. Basal body temperature, BBT, that's how, and I think that's all the abbreviations. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the abbreviations I have. So moving on, those are all super helpful. So yes, again, if you're trying to take a pregnancy test, your first morning urine is more accurate, because you don't have a lot of fluids in you from the day. You didn't just drink like orange juice or hot chocolate, or I don't know. Those are things I drink all the day. So first morning urine is less diluted. That's the word. Less diluted. So it is more accurate to look at the HCG. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what that stands for. If you want to look it up, look it up. That is what pregnancy tests are looking for. So even the cheap ones are accurate. Fun fact. And then the ovulation tests, completely different, completely separate. I tagged a video. I talked about my ovulation test that I was taking in another video, which I'll tag up here, and I had tagged another video in it that went over taking an ovulation test like in the in the afternoon, but not like drinking too much water right before. Like, drink water, but then don't drink stuff within like the hour that you take it. It's really weird. And the line, oh, this is one that I did not know until I started my research. For an ovulation test, there are 2 lines. If there's a light line, so there's like your testing line, and then there's your what's going to tell you line. Control line, test line. That's what it is. So the control line, for a ovulation test, the test line has to be darker than the control line to say you are ovulating. But for a pregnancy test, even a little bit, the tiniest bit of a line on a pregnancy test means that you're pregnant. Fun fact. So if you take one and you have there's actually videos on line progression. I did not take ones daily. I have way too much anxiety for that. So I did not take one daily as I was getting, as I found out I was pregnant. I took one and it was a negative, and then a few days later I took one and it was positive. Fun fact. So yeah, you can't always take one, like 8 DPO, days past ovulation. You, which can be, for some people, can detect pregnancy, but for me it did not. So I was actually like 11 days past ovulation, which is more likely to get a positive, but I did not get a positive, my BFP, until 14 days past ovulation, DBO. So all these like lingo things took me forever to learn, and I went like all over the place. Oh yes, but there is like a bunch more, especially with different fertility things and diagnoses and stuff like that. I'm going to link a thing down below that gave you a whole list of random ones. But the ones that I talked about are the ones that I came into contact with the most, and I was just really confused, especially DPO and TTC, and then like first time mom. You see all the time. So FTM, I don't like saying that, like it's weird. Like I'll use it, but like FTM just doesn't, like TTC flows, DPO flows. Anyways, so fun fact also, I imagine a lot of people were like this, but when you're a teenager, you think if you have sex, you can get pregnant when the frick ever, except on your period, right? That's just a common known thing. It's actually harder than that. Didn't know that. There's your ovulation window, which I found this helpful little thing I'm going to put up here that shows your cycle. So you get a what's it called? Your period. And then you have a few days, and then at day 14 is when you ovulate. So like your first day of your period is cycle day 1. And that's when that's when your cycle starts. Day 14 is when you're ovulating. For a normal 28-day cycle, it could be different, it could vary, of course. Which is why, fun fact, pregnancy, your weeks and stuff, week 1 and week 2, you're not even pregnant because you don't get pregnant until ovulation on day 14. But your pregnancy is recorded, it starts on your cycle day 1 because it's just easier to record that way, because you don't actually know which day you ovulated, because some people could ovulate 13 or 16 or whatever, which so yeah, but going back, your ovulation, your fertile window is surrounding that ovulation day, so in the couple days before and the couple days after, because this was already way too detailed for you, but sperm can live in your body for like 3 to 5 days. Fun fact. So yeah, all these things that you find out if you look into, seriously, look into the science of it. Look into, if you want to get pregnant, if you're trying to conceive, TTC, then look into the science of it. You want to just understand what the freak your body's doing. It's helpful. Which I will talk more about in my TTC tips and tricks video, which when I make it, I'll tag it up here. Okay, couple more things real quick. When you are first pregnant, if you're already pregnant, you probably already know this because you probably already called your doctor. If you didn't, get on that, because you won't get an appointment for several weeks. If you are, if you're like 6 to 8 weeks when you find out, it's not that bad. But if you are trying to actively trying to conceive, then you'll probably find out like 4 or 5 weeks. And yeah, you won't get an appointment until 10 weeks. Some doctors do 8 weeks. I don't know if it's because of COVID or something, but my doctor did at 10. And you don't even get an ultrasound at 10. Fun fact. The only reason I got an ultrasound is because I was experiencing a lot of cramping, and it was very concerning. Which, I'll include this fun fact, it was because of constipation. So, yeah, I had like some kind of blockage going on, and it was causing extra cramping on top of like my uterine cramping. So, that's fun. Little scary, but we checked it out and we were okay. So, and then my last 101 trick tip for you. frequent urination doesn't wait till 3rd trimester. You could find yourself having pee all the time. Like mine started week 5, like right after I found out. I found out week 4, and week 5 I was peeing all the time. All the time. Actually, no, it was week 4. It was week 4 because I was peeing all the time, and like right after, like as I found out, and like before, a little bit before, right after, before, and like I'm peeing all the time, and I haven't told a lot of people yet. So I'm like, yeah, when you were picking on me, my friend Teresa actually was picking on me because I asked for water so many times during the day. And I don't normally ask for water that many times, but I just found out I was pregnant, so I needed to make sure I was drinking more water. That's another fun thing. Just get used to drinking water. Lots of water now before you're pregnant, or like once you find out you're pregnant, drink all the water. Oh man, it's so hard for me to drink a lot of water in my day, and it is so much easier if you actually are used to drinking a lot of water beforehand. I mean, if you're a healthy fitness person, then you probably are used to it already, but I'm the worst. So it took me a long time. And even though I got used to it beforehand, I'm still not used to drinking as much water as I need to. And I'm bad. I'm terrible. Those are my Baby Research 101. I started off my research a few months before, not a few months before. I started off my baby research like 8 months before we were actually in our TTC journey. So I will be making a video very soon on how my TTC tricks and tips and tricks, which I've mentioned a couple times, but on how I got pregnant the first try. It was a blessing, a miracle, absolutely, but I do think that my research and understanding my body and prepping my body really made a difference. So stay tuned, subscribe, like this video, subscribe so that you can see that video when I do come out with it. I'm planning on it in a couple weeks. Next week's video will be our baby gender reveal, so long as the ultrasound goes as planned and little babe is behaving and wants to show us what's going on, because that's important. But yeah, so long as everything goes as planned, Baby Gone will be announced next week on what he or she is. And I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. We have so many things happening. Okay, anyways, but yeah, like, subscribe. I'm super pumped for next week. And I will see you guys in the next one.